So, what's the single most important financial decision you'll ever make? It might not be buying a house or picking some hot new stock. It could actually be the very first thing you do with your very first paycheck. That one moment, it can set the tone for everything that follows. 10,000 rupees. For so many of us, this is it, right? The start of a career. It's not a fortune, for sure, but man, it's a seed. The real question is, what do you do with it? Just imagine it for a second. The notification dings on your phone. The money is officially in your account. And you get this rush, right? It's a mix of excitement, freedom, and maybe a little bit of, okay, what now? To explore that very question, we're gonna follow the story of a young guy named Raj. All right, section 1, an ordinary beginning. So let's meet our guy, Raj. So this is Raj, and honestly, he could be any one of us just starting out. He's got his first job, a pretty simple rented room, and that 10,000 rupees salary. Nothing fancy here, and that's exactly the point. His story, it could so easily be your story. Okay, on to section 2, the first paycheck choice. The money's there, the temptation to just go out and buy something, it's huge. So what does Raj do? What's his first move? There's no frantic rush to an online shopping cart, no planning a big night out. Instead, he just calmly opens a notebook. This isn't impulse, you see, it's pure intention. And this is the very first number he deals with, 2,000 rupees. Think about that. Before he even thinks about rent or food or anything else, this number gets top priority. And here's the absolute key. He doesn't just write it down and think, oh, I'll do that later. No way. The thought is immediately followed by action. He transfers that 2,000 rupees, boom, straight to his investment account. It's gone. Out of sight, out of mind, before he can even be tempted to spend it. So, section 3, the power of $2,000. You might be thinking, okay, it's 2,000 rupees, what's the big deal? Well, this one simple transfer actually represents a super powerful financial idea. It's called the pay yourself first principle. You see, most people get paid, they pay their bills, buy stuff, and then if there's anything left over, they try to save it. Raj, he flips that whole script. He treats his future self like the most important bill he has, and he pays that bill first, period. Math here. 2,000 rupees, that's a full 20% of his entire income. By sending that away first, he's making a deliberate choice to live on the other 80%. It's a totally different mindset from hoping you have something left over from the full 100%. And this is so crucial. It doesn't matter if you can set aside 2,000 rupees or 200 or even 20. The actual amount is not the most important thing here. The real power, it comes from building the habit of putting your future first with every single paycheck, right from day one. All right, section 4, a minimalist mindset. See, a decision like this doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's part of a much bigger picture, a mindset that really values clarity and focus. Raj's choice wasn't some random fluke. It's a direct reflection of how he thinks. Because he works on having a calm, focused mind, he can tune out all that noise of short-term wants and make choices that actually serve his long-term goals. Reflected in his whole life, right? That modest room isn't just about saving a few bucks, it's about simplicity. A clean, minimal space often leads to a clear mind. It all works together. It creates this kind of ecosystem where smart decisions like that first investment can actually happen and thrive. Which brings us to our final section, section 5, investing in wisdom. Because what Raj is really building here, it isn't just a bigger bank account. He's investing in something way more valuable. The source material we're looking at describes his room as being filled with this soft, golden light. Just picture that for a second. It's not just about it being sunset, It's really a visual metaphor for that feeling you get when you make a smart, forward-thinking choice. That's the glow of wisdom. It stands for clarity, for hope, and for that quiet confidence you get from taking control of your own future. It's the complete opposite of the darkness and stress that comes with financial uncertainty. So, when you boil it all down, that quick transfer of 2,000 rupees was so much more than just a financial transaction. It was a foundational act. With that one simple, disciplined choice, Raj wasn't just saving some money. He was literally laying the first brick, building a hopeful, secure future for himself. Raj's story is such a great reminder of how powerful our first small steps can be. So the question isn't really about him anymore, is it? It's about you. What wise step, no matter how small it seems, are you going to take for your future self today? You ever wonder if the biggest changes in life come from these huge, dramatic leaps or from tiny, consistent steps? Well, today we're going to dive into a story that pretty much proves it's the small, almost unnoticeable actions when you repeat them over and over that lead to the most massive transformations. It's a fantastic question, isn't it? I mean, how can one little decision you make every month possibly turn into a future of real financial freedom? The answer? Well, it's all in the story of a man named Raj, whose journey shows us exactly how this whole thing works. So, where did it all begin? Well, for Raj, it didn't start with some big lottery win or a super complex genius strategy. Nope, it all started with one simple, totally manageable decision. So, this is Raj, and his plan? It was just beautifully simple. He wasn't trying to time the market, none of that high-stress trading stuff. He just made a commitment, a promise to himself to set aside a fixed chunk of money every single month and put it to work. That's it. That was the whole foundation. It's called a systematic investment plan, or SIP for short. And it sounds a lot more complicated than it really is. Just think of it like a subscription service, but for your future wealth. You set it up one time, and it just automatically invests for you on a regular schedule. Easy. The whole process is literally just 2 steps. First, you choose an amount you're comfortable with, and second, you set it on autopilot so that money gets invested every single month without you even having to think about it. The real power here isn't in some complicated formula. It's all about that consistency. But look, a simple start is only half the story, right? The other, and honestly the more powerful half, is all about patience. It's about realizing that time is your real superpower in this game. This really shows you how it works over the long haul. In year 1, you're just planting a seed. It's small. But by year 7, you start to see the first real branches of growth popping up. That's when your investment starts making its own money. Then, by year 15, that tree is strong. It's solid. And after 20 years of just consistently taking care of it, you've got yourself a full-blown, thriving money tree. Absolutely and crucial. This journey wasn't a perfectly straight line up every single day. Of course not. The market has its good days and its bad days. But because Raj's investment was automatic, because it was consistent, he just kept going no matter what. And over that long stretch of time, that consistency just smoothed out all the bumps and created this incredible, steady upward climb. Okay, now this is where the magic really happens. That first bar, that's the total amount of money Raj actually put in from his own pocket over all those years. And that second, much, much bigger bar, that's what it grew into. You see that huge gap between them? That is the power of compounding in time. It's not just your money working for you, it's your money's earnings starting to make their own earnings. It's incredible. But what does a number like that actually mean in real life? The goal was never just about watching a number get bigger on a screen. It was always about what that wealth could create. It was about buying back time and getting real peace of mind. So let's fast forward 20 years. Here's Raj. He's not stressed out about bills. He's not worried about the future. He's reached this amazing state of financial freedom, where his money is now working for him, not the other way around. He literally owns his own time. And they were so much more than just money. They were about the freedom to make choices without that financial pressure looming over him. It was about creating a peaceful home, one that wasn't full of money-related stress. It allowed him to have this life of simple, subtle luxury, focused on quality, comfort, and amazing experiences. And it is so, so important to remember this. This life he built wasn't an accident. It wasn't some lucky break or a one-time event. It was systematically, deliberately built, piece by piece, month by month, for 2 decades. It's the ultimate proof that process beats luck every single time. So, when you boil this entire 20-year journey down, what's the one core principle that drove this whole incredible transformation? It's this, right here. 3 simple words that tell the entire story. It wasn't some genius-level strategy. It wasn't about timing the market perfectly. It was just consistency. That unwavering commitment to one small, simple habit is what ultimately built his wealth. And that really just leaves us with one final, powerful question to think about. We've seen what consistency did for Raj. It took a small monthly habit and turned it into a lifetime of freedom. So the question for all of us is, what amazing journey will your consistency build?